What's going on, legends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's how to unlock video, we're going to be covering the Sykov Modern Warfare Handgun for those of you that are free to play in Warzone. Now, we did cover this weapon in the past, however, it's been quite a long time. We're on a completely different map. Tons of new players join all the time, or maybe there could be people struggling to unlock this still, so I wanted to put out an updated version. You guys can expect me to cover some tips and tricks to make it a bit easier. We will go over the challenge, so you know exactly what to do to unlock it, and we'll even get into a recommended loadout to best set you up for success. Before we dive into it, if you guys do enjoy this content anytime or find this video helpful in any way, make sure you show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. We're going to throw an easy goal of 50 likes on today's video, as well as if you guys like to find your way back to the channel for more quality content, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. Also that notification bell so we don't miss you in future videos. Right, in order to unlock this, you're going to need to know what that challenge is. If you go to where you edit your loadout, then obviously make sure you don't have overkill on. Go to the secondary weapons, go to the handguns, scroll down to the Sykov. Your challenge to be read as follows. Using a pistol, get 4 kills in 5 different matches. Now, when it comes to game modes, you guys are more than welcome to dive into a limited time mode, whether it's a Clash playlist or something else that you might enjoy. However, we're going to go towards something a little bit more consistent. I'm going to recommend that you guys dive into Plunder. The great news about Plunder as well is it appeals to a wider variety of different skill levels, as the matches last 10 to 20 minutes and sometimes even longer, giving you more time to put that progress towards your challenge. Now, when you're flying into the Caldera map, it is absolutely advised that you land at the Storage Town area thanks to the Season 4 update. This is easily the most populated place on the map and continues to be so throughout the entire match. There are tons of players going for weapon challenges, overall looking to level up their guns, or they know it's the most populated place on the map, so they land there trying to rack up kills. So that should give you more than enough engagement to complete pretty much any challenge out there. Now, when it comes to this challenge, luckily you will only have to complete this in 5 different matches, so it's not a lot to ask for. However, getting 4 eliminations with a handgun or pistol is going to be quite the feat, especially in a Warzone match. Now, when it comes to trying to win engagements with a pistol or handgun, it can be extremely frustrating in Warzone. In almost all instances where you will be successful, you will likely be hitting the first, second, and possibly even the third shot before your opponent even is able to fire at you, or more than likely you will lose that engagement. So it's going to be really important that you choose those engagements wisely, as you're not going to be able to win them in certain circumstances due to the fact that you are using a much weaker weapon than the opponents that you're going up against. Now, in order to give yourself the best opportunity to win engagements with a handgun or pistol, you're absolutely going to have to close the distance between you and the enemy players. If you are not in a close quarters engagement, you're really going to limit your ability to put out enough damage, especially against somebody who might actually realize you have your location, and you will more than likely not be able to get your eliminations. So being very close to your opponents, kind of like when you're using a shotgun, will be crucial to actually completing this challenge and also put you in a position to possibly win a gunfight. Now, due to the ineffectiveness of using a handgun or pistol in Warzone, you're definitely going to want to try to take advantage of any third-party opportunity that you can find, whether you're flying in and you see 2 people in an engagement, or whether you just sneak around a corner as people are already fighting. You're going to want to do this as much as possible in order to decrease the amount of health the enemies you're shooting at could have, and overall increase your ability to try to get an easy elimination. In order to give yourself the best odds of actually getting eliminations, you're more than likely going to have to aim for the head. Now, this is not typically good practice, as aiming in the upper body tends to make you a little bit more accurate. But with this challenge, it's not going to matter how many times you get eliminated, and the headshots can greatly decrease the amount of bullets you'll have to put into your enemies while using a handgun or pistol. Now, like I said earlier, if you find yourself in an engagement where you didn't shoot first or catch the enemy off guard, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to outgun them using a pistol or handgun. So what you're going to need to do to counter this is essentially take a camping strat. Sit somewhere, whether it's inside a doorway or just in a location that somebody will have to pass by and more than likely will not look. This puts you in a great position, of course, to obviously be able to get that first shot off or even a few shots off to give yourself the best opportunity to win the engagement, because more than likely they're going to be using a much better weapon. Now, something that I like to use that will overall increase your odds of sneaking up on your opponents is going to be dead silence. This obviously gives you silent footsteps, allowing you to sneak up on people without them being able to hear you, and in most cases, giving them the position that you're in before you actually make that engagement. So that will give you a much easier chance to either take somebody out that's no longer paying attention, or at least give you a heads up in the gunfight, allowing you to be able to pull off the W. If you are having a hard time with this challenge and you are feeling lucky, you can absolutely take the strat where at the very beginning of the match, you go to the end of the flight path, you follow the AFK people down to the ground, and you eliminate as many free opportunities as you have there. But in some cases, other opponents will be trying to do that as well, which could lead to you either getting eliminated or not finding any eliminations whatsoever. And then you'll have that trek back to the more populated side of the map, which could overall be a waste depending on how far away you actually are. Now, we've covered some tips and tricks to make this a bit easier. We've gone over the challenge so you know exactly what to do to unlock it. So let's go ahead and dive into our recommended loadout, which today is going to be with the M19 handgun from Modern Warfare. Alrighty, for our attachments, we have as follows. For the muzzle, we have that monolithic suppressor. For the barrel, we have the XRKL Super. For the laser, we have that tactical laser. For the magazine, a 32 round mag. And last but not least, for the trigger action, we have the match grade trigger. All right, a couple more things I want to address before we wrap things up here. The reason I'm recommending to you guys a Modern Warfare handgun in order to unlock one is the simple fact that if you use one from Cold War or Vanguard, it could overall impact the tracking of the challenge, and it may not track properly, leading you to have games that don't actually count, which would mean that you will have to play more matches than is being asked. And the last thing I want to touch on is whether or not you can leave the lobby once you've gotten the progress towards your challenge. So once you are confident you got the 4 pistol eliminations that you need, you go to where you edit your loadout in game, go over to the secondary weapons, obviously, scroll down to the Sykov. If it looks like your progress is tracked properly, you can then jump into your next match, overall decreasing the amount of time this should take you. However, if you are confident you got the 4 eliminations that you need, go to check the progress, it does not seem to have tracked properly. I definitely recommend staying through to the end of the match in order to increase your odds of it counting. That way, if it does, you won't have to play more matches than is being asked. So we've covered the tips and tricks to make this a bit easier. We've gone over the challenge, you know exactly what to do to unlock this, and I've even given you guys a recommended loadout to best set you up for success. That's going to wrap things up for us here. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support in the channel. I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace.